Everything in this video is alleged and solely the opinions of just me. Memphis, Tennessee, September 13th, 2019. Heather Renee Cook, 32 years old. She had been recently seeing this guy and found out that she had become pregnant. It was a shock, but she knew what she did. She knew what they did. She told the father of her unborn child she was pregnant. He told her what he thought about the situation, and they weren't good thoughts. She knew she was going to be going at this alone. But she was excited about the little person that was forming inside her body. She'd already been thinking up names for a boy or a girl. Despite his attitudes towards this unborn child, she was determined to be a good mother, no matter what. No matter what he wanted, he knew that she was going to keep this baby, and she knew she was going to keep this baby. And so, the story begins. Maybe if he held the baby, maybe if he saw the baby, his attitude would change. Heather had the baby, and 4 months later, he still wasn't trying to participate, not even financially. And at this point, that's what she really needed. He kept reminding her that he gave her the option to abort, paid for by him. But it was too late. The son she named Bentley Evan Cook was here. What he didn't understand about Heather, she was known for taking home stray pets and give them a place to live. There was no way, there was no chance ever that she would have aborted. A child that was growing inside her child? Never. She needed to talk to someone, an unbiased opinion. Heather had a supportive family, but at times, she felt alone. Alone with Bentley. Even if the father wasn't going to be in his life now, he needed to help now. Heather found a singles moms group online and needed to talk about her current situation. Alright ladies, I'm new here and I just need somewhere to vent. So, when I got pregnant, it was by someone I had just begun seeing. When I told him I was pregnant, he told me to, quote, remedy the situation, end quote, and quit talking to me. When I wouldn't, fast forward a few months, I found out he has a girlfriend for 6 years, and I was the other woman all along. Anyway, my son was born 4.5 months ago, and the father has never attempted to see him. Well, I finally filed for child support this month, and since he's not on the birth certificate, it's mandatory DNA test. He got served his papers yesterday for the testing and decided to contact me. He can't believe I'm asking for support for a baby that he helped create. He thinks since he offered to pay for an abortion, then he proceeds to tell me now he's struggling financially and how his girlfriend left him and it's all my fault. Obviously, I told him this was all of his own doing. Neither of us would be in this situation if he would have not lied repeatedly. He still takes no responsibility for his actions and even went as far as sending me a meme that says, using someone's child to hurt them makes you a piece of shit. No part of me is doing this to hurt him, but I shouldn't be struggling financially when he's blowing his money on going out, drinking, and buying parts for his several cars. I know I did the right thing. I am just beyond frustrated with him. And she was. She was struggling, and Heather felt her son's father needed to man up and take responsibility. Enoch Zercino Turner, 25 years old. He was tired of being a father, even though he'd never done anything fatherly for this child except to create him. He was keeping this baby and Heather a secret because he was currently in a long-term relationship. And it had a lot to do with the fact that he did not want to pay child support. The thought of working and in turn having to give money to a woman that you weren't serious about, at least after you impregnated her, so that she could buy Pampers and milk for a baby that he didn't want to begin with, this really stuck in his craw. But it's when the papers arrived that's what really fueled the fire. Zercino's Turner long-term girlfriend had found out about the baby, the relationship outside the relationship that they had. And I imagined that caused a lot of problems. On September 13th, 2019, around 9:30 a.m., a 911 call was placed. There was a fire on Bennington Circle. The fire was successfully put out, but 2 bodies had laid partially burnt, and the fire was intentional. It would later turn out that Heather and her almost 5-month-old son Bentley, they had been murdered, stabbed to death, and the arson was a cover-up. Zercino Turner's car had been spotted in the vicinity of Heather's residence at 2:30 a.m. that morning by a police officer. Zercino Turner had admitted to the police officer that he had stopped by and he had crawled through Heather's window. But when he got inside, he found Heather and their son had appeared to be dead. He fled the scene. He fled the apartment. Never called the police, never called the ambulance, nobody. This was the first of many, many more stories to come. Needless to say, Zercino Turner was arrested. He was charged with 2 counts of murder, aggravated child abuse, aggravated arson, and aggravated burglary. The Cook family had to bury Heather and Bentley. Our family is heartbroken on learning of the death of our beloved daughter, Heather Renee Cook, and her baby, Bentley Evan Cook. Heather was a devoted single mother of this precious boy who had just begun his life. The family shared good memories of Heather and her son, who was still, even though so small, a big part of their life. Bentley was just a joy. His smile could light up a room, and this was said by Heather's stepmother, Colleen Cook. Heather's sister added, "Let's remember the times Heather laughed so hard she was crying, or when she put so much cheese on her food that everyone wasn't sure she had anything underneath." And this was said by Casey Howell. Enoch Zercino Turner, he still sits in jail today without bond, and he had been indicted. Due to COVID situations, I hadn't been able to find out any information on the case as of yet, but the defense is determined that are fighting for Heather, that he never sees the light of day outside prison. I will continue to follow this case, and my condolence to the family, and justice for Heather and Bentley.
What you doing? You guys think butt? You guys think butt? Yeah, you guys think butt.